Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate y'all. Be safe, have fun with your family, stay COVID safe, all that good jazz. Today, I'm going to be going over some of the stuff that I did, some of the stuff I accomplished. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about some details some direction for the game and my ideas and taking my learning and progress farther. This is episode 3. I have some notes, so it shouldn't be as droning and unorganized as last time, but don't count me out of it. However, we should start. It is 9 o'clock on my side, so we should probably get this show on the road. So we're going to go ahead and I have the game already pulled up here. Somewhere. There we go. I have the game already pulled up here. I'm going to go ahead and try and walk you through what I have. The first thing on the list is wind lines. We did some work with wind lines, which I don't know, you may have caught briefly in the previous video, but probably not. These little wind things are wind lines. If we go ahead and turn down this music and turn up the in-game volume, you can hear these wind lines. Only faintly. You may or may not be able to hear that. But you'll be able to hear it better in the R&D side. But more or less what happens is we walk into this thing, you see the F to interact, and you can see the colored, maybe not so well, but you can see the colored wind splines. You'll definitely be able to see them a lot better on the other side. There they are. There they are. They're like these other wind splines, but they are flyable. I implemented a little fly mechanic for the temporary while I get around, but we're going to go to the R&D level now. All right, here in R&D land, it's empty for now. We'll be gaining a lot more things in here quickly. This is a blender thing. We will come back to that in just a minute. But over here, if I hit X, you can see it a lot better. This, my sir, is our wind line. So we're going to go ahead and turn on this music. Turn this up. You can hear the sound effects a lot better now. If you're in it, you can hit F to interact, just like before. Nice. Beautiful. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. That's a blooper. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. So you heard that. More or less, let's go ahead and take a look at how they work. If we go ahead and open up our properties of this right here, you can see we have our Niagara particles, we have our little sound at the bottom, and we have our spline with our Niagara system along it, our particles along it, our wind, if one could say. And then here is what tripped me up the most. I labeled this block, respectably I labeled it chaos, because that's the only thing I can compare it to. This about made me go mad, but I will say I know a lot more about character movement now than what I did before we started. More or less what this does is it takes a block, it takes a couple checks to see whether I've interacted with the board and whether I have whether interacted with the wind tunnel, the wind line, and whether or not I'm currently attached to the wind line, and does some logic and sets me whether I'm flying or not, sets me along my coordinates and my orientation to the spline to keep me rotated and keep me moving and add motion along that line. More or less, that's what that does. I won't dwell too long on that because I'm aware it's not the most entertaining thing. I will say that if we go ahead and load our testing map, this is my blender attempt. Sorry, quickly pivoting. This is my blender attempt. It is a potential portal design, not textured or anything, because I'm working on making my own assets, because that's an important part. I don't really want to make assets that belong to someone else and then try and publish a game, because that doesn't really work. All the assets I've shown up to now were almost all made in Hour of Code. Some of them were ones I made, but nothing was. Most of the ones that I made were particle effects, if that makes sense. So I don't think that really counts. The next thing I tried to model was a pigeon, because I wanted to work on NPC stuff, and I wanted to have a model for that rigged. Needless to say, this was the reference drawing. This is what came out. One could say it is inspired. I think the correct answer, though, would probably be garbage. Needless to say, I got a ways to go. Things more complicated than this are going to be pain for a bit, but it's something I'm going to work on. And then this gives me a great point to pivot in on why I'm using my own art assets other than just the publishing a game part. Because while publishing a game will be awesome, and I'm working on trying to make that a career, realistically, that's a ways off, and this game design idea will probably never go to sale. That being said, I am having a hard time trying to find a gameplay loop for this. That also being said, I like this idea and this concept, and I have this world fleshed out. Like, not actually fleshed out, but I have these ideas rattling around in my head that I've started kind of putting to paper on world building, etc., backstory, some loose mechanics, but I don't have an idea of what kind of mechanics. I don't have a gameplay loop. I don't have any sort of game. I just have ideas and collections of thoughts that I want to work on. I don't have any idea for game. I don't have any idea for why things are going to interact with different things or what the point is. I do have some ideas for this world, though, and I'm really digging it. So I'm going to let this rattle around for a while. And I think my next set of things I'm going to do isn't going to be in this project. The next set of things I'm going to do is going to be, I'm going to find a game jam theme. And I'm going to take probably a week and a half, and maybe starting this weekend, and I'm going to try and make a gameplay loop. It does not, I'm going to try and ignore bugs. They will exist, but I'm going to try and not worry about making it bug free. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I realize that's not helpful. So I'm going to try and just ignore that part, and I'm just going to try and make a gameplay loop. I'm not going to worry about assets or materials or any of that stuff. I'm just going to make something that is fun-ish. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to look ugly. Let's be clear. But I'm going to make a game. I'm going to make something with a point. But that's just so I can try and get some practice at some more inspiration and give myself a sense of direction. All that being said, I did acquire some... let's not worry about that right now. That may be the next devlog. Because for now, it has been awesome seeing y'all. And it's been awesome. Thank you for watching. And have a safe Thanksgiving. And if I don't talk to you within the next week, have a safe December. My guess is I'll definitely be back before then, though. So, bye-bye, y'all. Have a good Thanksgiving.